So here we have it, game number 3 of this best of 3. It is going to be tense. The winner of this goes on to face Lambo in the finals, and that is going to be either a PVZ or a TBZ. Outer Rim Stronghold is the next map, and it is a big one. It is absolutely huge, and spawning to the lower right hand position. Representing AI, we have Patience. And his opponent down to the lower left, the Red Terran. Representing ESC, it is GoOdy. GoOdy showing the mech is indeed viable. Tech is always viable. It's always good to tech. Unless, of course, your opponent is going for like a proxy 11-11 2-racks, in which case you might just want to get anything to try and defend. So, the big thing about that game, or game number 2, where GoOdy was able to take that victory, comes down to the fact that GoOdy had that base to the top left, and that economy, that additional income, allowed him to make the army the one in the game. And I know that seems really basic, but without that top left base, Patience was doing a phenomenally good job of denying what he thought was GoOdy's third, but in reality it was GoOdy's fourth base there. And so GoOdy never had that income struggle. Patience, on the other hand, he stayed at 3 bases, so he was on equal or less bases to GoOdy. He had less workers, and despite doing some great damage, which if there wasn't that top left hand base would probably have won him the game, that hidden expansion allowed GoOdy to win, almost guaranteed. So this game, what have we got? We've got some variations already. GoOdy not going for that early gas that we've seen in the previous 2 games. Instead, he's going just for that racks. Probably going to go for a racks into the command center, taking it nice and quick. Meanwhile, Patience, he has started out with that gateway. Probably going to be adding in a cybernetics core straight off the back of this. And this is also very similar to how he's played previously. The gate is a lot later than it was last game. He's not going to be going for that kind of 1 Stalker, 1 Zealot pressure. Instead, he's going to be looking just to play it a bit more macro-orientated. Of course, Outer Rim is such a big map that anything that involves walking a couple of units over to your opponent's base is not going to work. It's just too big, even if he scouted them in the close positions. Patience can now work out that his opponent is bottom left, but doesn't get the scout off yet, whereas GoOdy got a bit lucky, scouts anti-clockwise as well. Comes on in and says, okay, you have got what would appear to be a gateway and a cybercore, but no natural base until just now. He did see it come down, so it's like, alright, this is a pretty standard 1 gate, 1 cybercore expansion, 1 gas, the second one now being taken. So I'll go double gases. I've got my natural base out pretty damn quick. It's ahead of yours. So what can I do with this? What can I try and do? How can I cause some problems? Well, firstly, I can deny your scout. Down goes the probe as it tries to come up and goes, oh, well, there's Marines, there must be a barracks. But that's not exactly the shocker headline story you want as a Protoss player here. You want to be trying to find out what is it that GoOdy is doing and how do I counter it. I don't believe Patience looked at the replays between the 2 games, so for all reasons, he may not even have any knowledge that there was that ninja base in the top left. And he may be scratching his head a bit. How can you do it? Anyway, as we keep going, we've got, obviously, factory now coming through. A reactor on that barracks. But if we think back to the previous game, GoOdy was able to use Hellions to a heck of a lot of success. Even up against Blinkstalkers, he just had such a volume of Hellions. He can do anything, and I don't believe it. GoOdy's doing it again. The hidden base up to the top right. And I can't say I blame him. That last game, it paid off so well. It didn't get scouted for all like 30 plus minutes of that first game. So this could be glorious. The difference is Patience has added in his robotic facility so much earlier this game. So much earlier. Going for an observer, where is that rally to? Just to the front, so nowhere crazy. Not going to be checking much out. But it should mean that Immortal production starts quicker. And that is something that I think Patience has to be aware of. That GoOdy has gone for this mech style play every single game. Every game there's been tanks, it's GoOdy. Every game there will be tanks. Let's get Immortals, my best counter to those, out as quickly as I can, and hopefully things will go well. So GoOdy adding in the engineering bay now. He's also grabbing out a medevac. If we recall back to the last game on Frost, he also got a medevac out and went to try and move out with those Marines early on. Unfortunately, he was intercepted by Patience. Patience has also got nice positioning of his Stalkers here. He should be able to pick off the medevac if it did come through. But, oh, actually, Patience is going to be the one getting a bit aggressive. A War Prism on its way through. Both players going to drop at each other, meet in the middle. You never know, but, well, for now, Patience is just coming in, just checking, going to say, okay, what have you got? Okay, this is really good. He sees the tank, sees the Marine, and the medevac. He knows what's coming through. Also sees that missile turret, and he sneaks on by past it. So, the Observer can't be seen, just a little shimmer. And so now, GoOdy is left in a position where he's like, okay, I haven't been scouted. I've denied that Observer, but because it came out so early, not going to be able to be much help. Or the missile turret, rather. Not going to be able to be much help for GoOdy. Third CC is seen as well. These timings are all very, very important. But remember, this isn't the third CC. This is the third CC. That hidden base, yet again, doing work. Patience, if he did actually move this Observer back a little further, he may get some kind of indicator that there is some fishiness going on, because there's no energy on these command centers, but there's also no mules there. All the mules being spent up to this top right-hand ninja base once more. 2 more factories being added in here by GoOdy, and Patience is just busy adding in Blink, adding in a lot more Stalkers, adding in his 3rd Nexus at this stage. Not going up to that top right base. He's got no reason to go up there. There's just so many places you can go for a proxy or a ninja expansion here that just won't get scouted. And again, we're seeing this similar playstyle from GoOdy. Adding in the double armory, going to be going the mech upgrades. Difference is, in previous games, he's only ever got the mech attack upgrades, not the double upgrades. So it'll be interesting to see if he does that, because that's one area Patience has been able to consistently get ahead, going double upgrades himself. The Blinkstalker's still waiting. Remember, there is this vision up here, thanks to this Observer a little bit further back. Could be quite useful. GoOdy now taking these 2 gases up at the ninja base as well, so he's getting that extra gas income. If we look at the overall incomes, you can see the GoOdy's just monstering ahead, thanks to being on 3 bases already. 1 Hellion comes down, meets his doom though. Not going to be able to do too much there. So, just no scout, other than knowing there's 4 Stalkers sitting out the front. 4 more coming in as well after some more Warpins. Blink is now finished. The 1-1 upgrades on their way out, both being chrono boosted. Meanwhile, just defensive photon cannon coming in here to prevent against drops. The mothership core 200 energy, so does have the option to photon overcharge. Glad to see the Ghost Academy coming down again. That's a really smart move. And ooh, variation from Patience. Going to be going for the double Stargate here. This is pretty awesome. We haven't seen him go for those Stargate play. Adding in the +1 air weapons as well is another beautiful move, because I suspect... Well, 3 Stargates. Okay, so this is going to be Skytoss, but it gets scanned! Oh my goodness! That scan is money! That is so good! Wow. Okay, that scan has helped GoOdy more than probably anything else. Even probably more than this base to the top right. And the reason for that is because GoOdy, in the previous games, has had a composition that consists mainly of tanks and Hellbats / Hellions. That has been his main force in the mid-game. Late game he added in some Vikings and a good number of Banshee. But he hasn't been making Vikings early. He hasn't known. Now, of course, he knows that these Stargates are coming. He's gonna make anti-air. He's gonna make those Vikings. And this is suddenly an insane position for GoOdy, because not only has he got this ninja base that hasn't been scouted, giving him that great income, keeping him above that of his opponent, but he knows what's coming, so he's going to start Thor production, he's going to start Viking production. Basically, he's just going to be prepared. The tanks, the Hellions moving down. GoOdy wants to secure up a 4th base that, as far as Patience is concerned, is his 3rd. Oh my goodness, Patience! He's going to scout it! He sees it! Okay, he knows there's a hidden base here. Immediately a pylon comes down. This base is dead and gone. Scouted at 13 minutes 45. It's already been up for a heck of a long time, but it's now been seen. The Blinkstalker's heading over there as well. Oh, GoOdy. GoOdy, your hidden base has been discovered, Ziz. It is going to die, It is going to die a lot. A lot of death. Much death. Very well. Down goes these SCVs. GoOdy. He got away with it last game, but this game not so much success. Blue Flame. Hellions are very, very good up against... Okay, Hellions are not good against Stalkers unless you have a crap ton of Hellions. Then they become good because there's just so many. A couple of Zealots coming in from this War Prism here. Not able to do too much, and the Thor working down that War Prism as well. Meanwhile, GoOdy losing a couple of Hellbats down to the south here, while his main army moves over the top of that. The SCVs are retreating back home. The Orbital Commander's being left to die up at the top there rather than lifting. But in now comes the engagement. In we go now with GoOdy going forward. He wants to try and take this trade. He's got a good number of tanks, only up at 4, so actually not that high. The Voidway's coming in trying to help as well, but the Vikings dealing so much damage. GoOdy's shelling away, trying to get more damage coming through, and this is doing really, really nicely. GoOdy is going to be able to breach this third Nexus. There's not really much can be done. A Tempest is now up, but due to their range, if they try and move in, the Blinkstalkers can come underneath the Vikings. Going to start shelling away them. One Tempest will fall, but the Vikings will go down as well. That's a nice pick-off. The tank can't actually do anything against these Tempests. The Tempest can very securely pick away at them. But the third Nexus is still dead. It is still gone. And GoOdy, despite losing this top right-hand base, has still retaken a third down here. And he's already got a lot of benefit from it. 16 minutes 20. And this game is just heating up. Patience now retakes his third. He's got these Tempests coming out more on the way. Additional Vikings trying to come in for GoOdy here. But as of yet, not able to do too much. Still waiting to see where GoOdy goes with this. He's adding in a lot of mines now. Okay. This is pretty interesting. Thor has been found. These Tempests still moving forward. There's only 2 of them at the moment, but still racking up a couple of kills. One of them up on 6 kills there, so doing a good job. Meanwhile, these Zealots are now checking pretty much every base. It's like, oh, you're not doing that again. You are not getting another Ninja expansion. It's not happening. No. GoOdy still running around as well, keeping an eye on everything. Patience just doesn't want to let him get any kind of an edge. The supplies, though. Look at those. Look at these supplies. A massive supply advantage to GoOdy right now. He's got an army. Patience doesn't. He's producing Tempest. And Tempest takes 60 seconds. A whole minute to produce. But there's nothing GoOdy can really do about them being here. They're busy shelling away. They start picking off anything they can find. Some Vikings could be a bit of a nuisance, but there's only 6 of them. The Tempest would do a relatively good job there. Quite a few SCVs getting taken down. GoOdy moving throughout the center of the map. He's got a 4th base now taken. It's morphing into a planetary, but Zealots have been able to discover it, taking out a couple of SCVs. Through the middle of the map, though, GoOdy advances forward. He's going to be trying to get that damage down. The Tempests are so far away and they're so slow moving, they may not be able to get back here in order to help in time. The Stalker's taken down. There's 2 Tempests back at home. GoOdy should be able to take this base. He doesn't have that much stuff, but where's the anti-air? Hang on. Has he only got the 1 Thor as anti-air? Is that really what's there? He might try and run the Widow Mines underneath the Tempest. Quick little EMP comes out, and that's exactly what the plan is. Move those Widow Mines straight underneath. The planetary gets taken down. The Tempest about to take out the natural base. Shouldn't be able to be stopped there. Meanwhile, more Tempest coming through. The 3rd base of Patience has been taken down. The Thor will also fall. That was a bit far forward. Patience leveling out that supply, but in come the Vikings, and there's a good number of them now. There's 10 up against these Tempests. The Tempest falling very, very quickly. And this is catastrophic damage being done to Patience's bulk of his army. The Tempests are still trading pretty well because they do have +1 air weapons, but a lot of these Tempests still fall regardless. Now moving forward, going to be looking to try and trade yet again, get another engagement down, waiting to see where these Tempests are going to go. A couple more shots coming off. Of course, the natural base dead, the 4th base dead, the Ninja expansion dead. GoOdy reliant on this 3rd at the moment. It has to stay up because this is basically his last hope in terms of keeping an income this game. The Thor in high impact payload mode. The Vikings trying to come on over, but more Tempest reinforcing. Not really that many Vikings here, and a few more get picked off. One Tempest gets very low, unfortunately, but still. Patience using these Tempests has got himself into a nice spot, and I think GoOdy has to try and go for the base race. And that's what he's planning. He's moving out across the map. These Hellbats can try and get some more damage through. Lifting your orbital will not help against the Tempest, of course. They can attack air and ground, as we've seen. More shots coming through, more damage being done. The Hellbat's going to try and counterattack. Tempest there, back at home. Nexus may take quite a bit of damage. Back we go with the rest of these Tempests. And, well, nice little bit of damage coming through onto this Nexus. So many Hellbats, but these Hellbats are basically sacrificing themselves to force a cancel. Although no cancel comes down. That was, unfortunately, a little bit sloppy by Patience. I don't think his attention was anywhere else. GoOdy has been able to retake this 4th base. He floated a command center over there. So he's still only on those 2 orbit commands, 2 Mules. Patience, still down a bit in supply, specifically in his army supply. 98 to 121. That hurts. But hey, this is fun times at the moment. We've got a lot of zealots positioned around or pylons at any possible proxy base. Down we go now. 1 Tempest falls. The Vikings trying to kite back these high impact payload Thors. Gonna be able to get some nice damage through. More Tempests coming in. The Tempest count up at 13, up against 6 Vikings and 3 Thors. The Tempest will win that fight. But they want to try and kite trade as efficiently as they can. The Thors not getting focused yet. A couple of SCVs took the first few shots, but now the Thors are going to be going down. GoOdy knows he can't win this. GG's out, and Patience in a 23.5-minute game will take this 3rd map, the ace map, to advance 2-1 into the final to take on Lambo.